Hi everybody, it's Cathryn from In the Pink Designs. Please subscribe and hit the like button. That helps me out a lot. I would appreciate that. My project today is using the heart shaped dies. The last project I did, I used the dies, I think, but mostly the stamp set for this. This set is a Sale-A-Bration set you can get free with $120 worth of purchases. All right, so today I'm just using the dies from that. I'm using the birthday Sale-A-Bration dies for this here and the larger of the banners. And I'm using the Unbounded Love stamp set for the love sentiment right there. All right, so the box measures, it's very high, 3 by 3 3/4 by 2. And I have a bunch of stuff in here. I have Sour Patch Kids, Starburst, some orange Tic Tacs, some Mentos gum. I got this at Dollar Tree. And some Skittles. So it fits a bunch of stuff, but you can decide to put candy or gifts or whatever it is you like. All right, but it's a pretty large size, so it'll fit a bunch of stuff. I can't get that in there. I'm just gonna leave that out for now. All right, so what we need is a piece of bubble bath that is 10.5 by 8.5. Another piece of bubble bath to stamp our sentiment on. I cut this banner from the birthday Sale-A-Bration dies out of basic white. From the heart shaped dies, I cut 3 flowers out of bubble bath and the vine heart out of old olive. This is Sweet Days of Autumn, just DSP, and we need 2 pieces that are 2 3/4 by 3.5, 2 that are 1 3/4 by 3.5, and 2 that are 2 3/4 by 1 3/4, and all of that is on my blog, which is listed below. All right, let me get my Simply Scored. And we're going to start on the 10.5 inch side, score at 1/2, 3.5, 5.5, and 8.5. Turn it to the 8.5 inch side and score at 2, 5 3/4, and 7 3/4. All right, now fold and burnish. All right, so how I have this is the 1/2 inch strip is over here. There is a 2 inch strip on the bottom and over here, and a 3/4 inch strip at the top. And this is what we're going to be doing. All right, so let's start over here. Go to the first score line, cut it to the first score line, and wedge up into that 1/2 inch rectangle. Go to the next 2 score lines and cut them to the first score line. Wedge both sides of each square, and then take about a 1/2 inch off the bottom. Go to the next score line, cut it to the first score line, and then wedge both sides of that square and take off about a 1/2 inch. Okay. Now turn it so that your 1/2 inch rectangle is over here. Go to the first score line, cut it to the second score line, take off the bottom rectangle, wedge the square, and then take about a 1/2 inch off. Okay, go to the next 2 score lines and cut them to the second score line. Take off the bottom rectangle, wedge both sides of the square, and take about a 1/2 inch off the bottom of that tab. right, now these pieces we're going to take off. There's 4 of them. So take it off just above that score line so that the bump isn't there. And then wedge up a little into that 1/2 inch rectangle. And that's what your cardstock should look like when you're done. All right, let me get some tear and tape and put some on what's left of that 1/2 inch rectangle next to the score line. I'm going to take the backing off. Okay, and then flip it over and attach the sides together. This is our back, so that's where our seam is. Oops, I forgot to tell you to round the corners on this top flap here. Okay. Now this is our back. Right here is our seam, so we want to put this flap down first when we close it. Okay, that's your box. Now we need our DSP. And these 2 are on the front and the back. These are the long sides and these are the short sides. Alright, now we'll let that dry and we'll do our stamping and putting together. So we need all of this. Okay, so now we're going to get some old olive ink and our piece of bubble bath, and I'm going to stamp Love from Unbounded Love stamp set. And then I'm going to use this die here, the outside one from the Birthday Celebrations die, to cut that out. Okay, now we have that. So let's get our banner die, and I'm going to attach the heart in the middle. Now you could use a sponge and your silicone mat, but I'm going to try to just attach little bits of glue on pieces to keep it down. Alright, and then I'm going to try to get this right in the middle. Alright, and then I'm going to put the 3 flowers down. Okay, now we need our box, and I'm going to do the twine, the baker's twine on here a little differently. This time, it was kind of hard to get them straight, so this time I'm going to just do them diagonal. I'm going to start right in the middle, put a piece of tape and hold it, and then I'm going to do 3 passes and make them diagonal, just like that. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And then I'll tape it again. There we go. And cut it off. All right. And then we're going to put our banner down with dimensionals right on top of everything. All right. I'm going to try to center this nicely. Okay. And then I'm going to put the love as far, just show a sliver of DSP in the corner. All right, so we need 1 dimensional right there, as far up as we can get it. And then I'll put some liquid glue. All right. And put that right there. Hold that a minute. All right. And for the final touch, I'm going to be using some iridescent foil gems. And I'll use the small ones, and I'm going to put 2 on the top with this banner here. And then 1 in each flower middle. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next week. Please subscribe and hit the like button. Bye.